I went super low budget for this thumbnail. Super low budget thumbnail. My voice doesn't sound the best. Hopefully it'll be fine. Let's see. I mean, I should be fine. Anyway. Hey. Hi. Hello. People of the universe. Unsufferable souls of friends. It's time. For more Phoenix. With fake people and bad dream. Or something. I don't really know what it is. It's something. Hang on, just a second. I need to remember to put this stuff up. More detective, but actually lawyer, but still detective. Good title. Strong title. Strong, good titles. There we go. That's fine now. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright?
Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas.
Or rather, the whole thing is just one big gray area. And don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. Almost feels like I have like a cold, but I like don't have a cold. Weird. It's odd. Anyway. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice.
Yes?
A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that.
Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her.
And that is...
You're not a defense attorney.
I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Or should I say, Mr. Wrong? No.
My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. No help.
And then, she's gonna be there helping us anyway? Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be there the whole... I'll be with you the whole way.
Wait, I was supposed to do this by myself, though. Yeah, she's standing there right next to me anyway.
I don't think we really changed that much of, things.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Edgeworth, you're so edgy.
Oh yeah, the music's actually louder for this part, so I'll lower it a little bit. I don't know, like 16 decibels down.
It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since this trial.
I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office locked.
Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing everything.
However, she will not pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to our crime. A professional witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecutor calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand.
The cough-up queen. Haven't I seen you somewhere?
Your order, caviar lunch, right?
Oh, caviar. I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really waffing it down.
Oh, for you, I have a feastable.
Thanks.
Will the witness state her name and profession?
And you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox?
It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's tasty. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca.
What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? How do you pickle tapioca, actually? Name and profession, now.
Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is, that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us.
The prosecution will wait. I am not finished eating.
Hurry it up.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as the court, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
What exactly does that mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
What? Miss Starr was a detective?
I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough up, Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr.
Just who is this lady?
If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up the prosecutor's spaces, yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of Block A, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out.
Even more anime, but this time good.
That's a way to say it, Decal. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this valiant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor.
Okay, we got the floor plans for the parking lot.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright?
I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that poor sword losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me? Witness account. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garnished car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointed tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching.
As you can see, there is no room for doubt.
The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
And so, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. I guess. Do it.
Hold it! How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic adherence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Yeah, she said she already hated prosecutors, right?
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. That sounds like motivation. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
Hold it! Which boyfriend? You have like 20. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's on the second level, as you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in Block B. So, she was in Block B when she witnessed the crime. Wait, what? So they had a chain fence. Wait, no! I didn't mean to hit that. I wanted to look at it. I meant why. Pretend that didn't happen. I wanted it. Oh, it's A. It's been a hot minute. So there's a chain link fence. There's only certain positions she could see the full crime. She had to park in parking lot B, but to get to the security room, she would have to walk around, or go through the building and go back downstairs.
That could be important.
You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of murder? It felt like, how would you say... Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of detective intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
Nerd young cheese?
And then the whole crime scene could have been forged.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those things can happen, but we don't get to say things like that. A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets, a greenhorn.
Then I must be hard. Yellowed and sharp as a tack.
Yeah, the odor of an old cheese to match. Can we stop talking about the odor of the judge? I appreciate that. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind.
We're friends, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a Garnish car. Yeah, okay, she did say through the wire.
By gosh, car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's?
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed, it was.
What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, are you sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms, ergo. You are biased witness. You want me to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie? Ah, rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me.
She flips her hair to her other side when she gets serious.
I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
But that was inspiring.
I believe I heard the tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to a lowly post of a lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
But a photograph? You took this?
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera.
Wait, why? I suppose that's more exciting than hanging around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph now? You think I'd show it to you, prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photograph division of the criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
The blood's on her right side. She is said to have stabbed with the right hand. Why is she wearing the jacket, though? Isn't the jacket Goodman's? Or is the jacket someone else's? She'd wear the jacket in the first place. She's wearing gloves, too. But she was wearing gloves in the first place. It says A on the parking stuff, so that much is true. You can see the chain fence, so the picture is obviously real.
Uh-oh, this is unmistakably Lana Sky. So what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding that. Oh no.
I didn't mean to hit that.
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal to me.
What do we do? Is this it for my sister?
Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect is carrying.
Well, I did say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Yes. That's about right.
Prosecutors are by nature well versed in location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set.
You can't testify as if her ability to kill an egg, I mean a person.
Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been better metaphor.
So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? I am detecting detective things. Maybe. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop the crime. You didn't see her raise the knife to strike. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late.
Too late.
Yes, the next moment the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon.
I see.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty fatal. Yeah. We went over that before. What else can I press, though? What evidence do we have that we could use against her? I feel like this evidence doesn't really tell us too much. Yes.
Scientifically speaking, you're kicking butt. Keep it up.
Rattata? Or Rattata, the Pokemon, I don't know. What can I use? Goodman, date and time of death, February 21st, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood from chest wound. The wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. Can I really get her on such a technicality? Or is the .5 the handle? Oh wait, I can actually study this? I didn't do this.
This must be the victim's blood, right?
Either that, or Edgeworth cut himself peeling an apple. What's Mr. Edgeworth doing with a knife like this anyways? I accidentally said Mr. Goodman was on that paper. The dead guy owned paper. Yeah, sure.
Hey, maybe he spends his weekends roughing it in the wild.
Oh. Do people just randomly message now? Oh. Someone was saying I was hurt by a burn.
Mr. Edgeworth in the wild? I think my fruit peeling theory is more likely.
Are you kidding? I always pictured him as an outdoorsman.
That's a scary thought. What is he gonna do? Throw his nice-looking clothes at it? I don't think there's anything important here. Too bad there's not like a false thing in the curve of the blade or something. I don't know. It was just Kai saying that I got burned. It's fine. I don't really think I can use this for anything. A name and ID are written here. Sergeant Bruce Goodman. ID 5842189.
I wonder why they only use numbers for the IDs.
What else would they use?
Letters, silly. They're the reason we have a written language in the first place.
True.
Sergeant Bruce Goodman. Yab a dab. See? Wouldn't that be better?
Yabba-dab. Well, it does have a certain ring to it.
Exactly my point.
It doesn't take much to amuse her. That evidence was unimportant. I was hoping I would find something in here that might be important.
Hey, check it out. There's a metal plate here.
It looks like the names of the previous recipients are engraved on it.
Wow. One guy's listed a bunch of times. Von Karma. I guess he must be a foreigner.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Well, wherever he's from, he must have been an amazing prosecutor. I'd like to meet this Von Karma sometime.
When she says it, his name does have a kind of ring to it. Why do we need to go over that part? No other interesting pieces here? Oh, what else can I use? Between 4 and 5:30, but Edgeworth came out
At 5:12.
already entered into it, right? Miles Edgeworth. 1712 is the date of the crime.
The murder took place 3 minutes after Edgeworth parked his car. If only he was held up at a couple extra red lights, he wouldn't have been caught up in this whole affair.
Perhaps.
It just goes to show you. Never know what'll happen when you run a yellow light.
Yeah, if you run a yellow light, you might just have a dead body in your car. Don't worry about it. Record of parking in the prosecutor's office. She doesn't have a timestamp on when she took this photo. If we had something like that, it'd be better. 221, 212. I wonder if that matters. Why can I look at this? Does that matter? I need to push this again.
What's wrong? You look like I do during finals.
Never mind, it's nothing. That was all we had to say about that. Nothing else on the cell phone we can look at? Strap.
Man, what a boring strap.
What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know.
Here, check out mine. It's Pink Princess strap. These are hard to come by, you know.
I see the series is as popular as ever with the kids. Ah, yes, the kids. The youth. Even though that I'm like 25 or something. Or did he say he was even younger than that? Maybe there's something in here that's more clear contradiction. She doesn't say a specific time, though. What's the pointy tip of the knife into Goodman's chest? There's gotta be something here. But what do they want me to look at? Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. Found my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. Sent something, perhaps it was finally home detectives. I'm pretty sure I
said hold it to all of these, right? Or did I miss one? I feel like we need something else to work with. But, she's not really giving us a lot. So the cheese first stand next to Gar's car. Did I hold this part up? Yeah, we went over that. I definitely hit it on that one. Yeah, we went to the top. Don't stop the crime. Keep our heads cool and press a bit, shall we? Some reason having a panic next comment. Yeah. We already did that part. So what, do I just need to press again? Now that we have the photograph, did pressing give us something else, or... It's still the same stuff. Laid off, so she was fired. It's obviously important because they made the little jingle sound. But it's not important right now. I guess my only choice is to keep holding it until we see if we get anything else. And if we don't get anything else, I'll have to. That'd be the security room sign. Yeah. Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in Block B. Got that stuff. Did that stuff. Do we just press the thing where she gave us the photo before? Yeah, we heard that part. Huh. I guess they want me to actually object to something here. I'm not really sure what I should object to. I have to find the truth myself. The problem is, like, I can make my own ideas, but the game wants you to object to specific things is always the annoying part. So what specific thing do I want to object to? She mentioned the thing about the knife's length. We know it's 4.5 inches long, though. I don't know if that will, that'll matter. Loss of blood from chest wound. A wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. And they say his knife is 4 inches. I don't know if that part matters. Could we say it was a different knife and the blood was from something else? I don't know if the time would matter, though, either, because we don't know when this girl was around. We don't know what this memo means. It's on his own stationery. Goodman paper. 675. 2. I can just safe scum it, if I'm really not sure. What would they want me to do? Am I always knew a day like this would come? Is it this part? They said this was the moment of the crime, but the knife isn't in her hand. Do we really want to go with that? But she could have just thrown the knife in there. She looks so casual. Like, dead bodies in there now. It's funny. Hmm. But he was stabbed and still alive, and he got out of the trunk, is what we established, right? And then he slid down the side? Murder weapon, usually an address toolbox, traces the victim's blood, no prints. There's obviously no prints because she was wearing gloves, but someone else could have been wearing gloves too. Last call made to her sister at 5:18 on the day of the murder. Would I want to use this? She would see Lana using the phone, right? Things aren't adding up, but I don't know which part I should use first, because she doesn't mention anything about time, is the problem. Does she mention time? I don't think she does. She doesn't say anything there. We got information, but... That boyfriend, that other boyfriend, they're gonna join. She doesn't say anything about the time. Security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level. As you can see, everything from there. That would be the room with security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes? Visitor, I parked in block B. Saw the chief secretary standing next to a garage car. Chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife.
As I already said, yes, I swear it on my finest Sam and swirl.
So we are going with the picture doesn't show her holding the knife?
I'm sure that is a fine lunch.
But isn't this odd? Look at this photograph. And this is the photograph you took the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts?
Objection. That'd be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. I'm pulling out straws here. I thought it was weak too. It's okay. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Edgeworth. Mr. Wright. Not me.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. It was taken the moment after the stabbing.
And how can you tell that?
Blood spatter.
Ah?
See the dark crimson stains on the professor's coat?
Maybe she just had a really big burger and it had ketchup all over it and it just spurted. But it's a black and white photograph.
Yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you.
Mr. Wright, are you just going to sit there and take it? That kind of abuse?
You got a better idea? Object! Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she saw the witness. She saw the crime. Stop.
Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
That's it?
If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, just try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice.
Is it good advice if you don't understand it?
I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a predetermined, premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the prosecutor's hands in that photograph.
Well, are those gloves?
Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Ah. Was it if it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
What was a bar? Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder, a serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
What if she was just in a habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves?
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
Ah.
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr.
This is bad. She's got them all thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show this wasn't premeditated.
It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You've said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, the Star's testimony is flawless.
Yeah. We got that part. That's called me to her sister Emma on the day of the murder. I wish they told me the call log. The problem with this is, if it was premeditated, would she let him die from loss of blood? If she was a prosecutor and she knew how to kill someone right away, then you think that she wouldn't make that happen, right? I don't know if we can call her up on that, though. And if it was premeditated, wouldn't she take the evidence and stuff? Do we prove that she isn't a murderer by showing her that she would be able to commit murder easier? Is that how we do it? I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Somehow I was new to this come. I was on there to deliver a lunchbox. Friends, garnished car. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. So we want to be able to call something up on the rubber gloves. What was the message on the phone? That's what I want to see. I forget what it was. This is why I wish they had a courtroom record for that stuff too. No traces of the victim's blood, no prints. Wait, traces of the victim's blood, no prints? Yeah. Only traces, though. Is it not all of the victim's blood? Record of parking the prosecutor's office lot, entered at 5:12. Call is made at 5:18. But he died between 4 and 5. Died within an hour of half at 4 p.m. But if
What do I use to show that it wasn't premeditated? Is the annoying part. I guess the autopsy report would be it, right? Because it was death due to blood loss. If she planned it, he wouldn't have died of blood loss, right? I don't know if we can use that, but I'm gonna try it. I'll soft save it first. This is my logic. I feel like it's sound logic, but the game might not appreciate it. Yeah, they didn't care. I don't know why they won't let me use that. I feel like it's pretty important. Would they want me to use this? Why would they not want me to use that? I don't understand. Save scum. Didn't happen. Pretended didn't happen. That doesn't make sense. I want her to go. You would be able to see her calling her sister after the murder. You would be able to see her not killing the person right away, even though that she was supposed to kill her right away if it was planned. I feel like those are both sound steps in logic, but for some reason they won't let me use it. Would they want me to use the knife? Really? The knife? I said that we could use the knife, but there's no fingerprints on the knife. It's usually in Edgeworth's toolbox. It has traces of the victim's blood. It's the murder weapon. Are we really going to pick at the... Like, she would have her own weapon, so why would she take Edgeworth's? But if she was trying to frame Edgeworth... Sometimes I don't get the game's jumps in logic. I feel like it would have been better if we used the autopsy report, but whatever. I feel like that would make more sense.
Are you testing me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk.
Indeed, that is my knife.
Blood and murder. From the prosecutor's district, right? Mommy, are the prosecutors bad people?
The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony.
What's that, rookie?
In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
Okay, so they wanted me to say, yeah, why would she plan it if she had to take Edgeworth's knife? But I feel like if she was planning murder to frame Edgeworth, it would make sense still, so I feel like the autopsy report should have been the thing used still. So I feel like the game's logic in this is kind of flawed. Like, if you're actually trying to prove it in real court, I feel like they would use the autopsy report over this to say, why would the victim plan the murder if she didn't kill him right away and he had enough time to live with the note? That's why I would think the note would be used too there. It's weird.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon?
Oh.
This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
She dropped her lunchboxes.
Order! 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 Right, now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister is as good as free.
Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is the humble pie.
What? I don't think she sells desserts.
I hope you aren't deluding yourself into thinking the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant Lana Sky murdered a detective with the knife. This is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't...
I believe I would like to hear your testimony again.
Witness, please tell us what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated.
Really now?
We're getting a different thing.
Lana Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive a human machine to plunge a knife in again and again.
Wasn't there only one stab wound?
The victim was summoned from the police department. The prosecutor's office, it does sound like a lot of premeditation, doesn't it?
So if I order a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy?
In any case, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
I'm always planning to kill the pizza boy, aren't you? Isn't that normal? Do we not all do that?
Hold it.
You said that, but you haven't told us how you know.
And that's what I'm about to tell you, rookie.
I believe what you just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again.
Rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like putting a bun out of the oven half-baked.
Something half-baked, yeah, alright, that's you.
Try to not confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now why did you believe the suspect had intentions of murder? Her actions speak for themselves.
You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there.
You have no proof she didn't.
Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts?
There's no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter.
Come on, you could have tried public phone first at least.
In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered.
I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day?
What kind of grudge?
Well, I wouldn't know that.
Of course you don't, because she didn't have a grudge.
Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside?
How am I supposed to know?
See, we agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox. With pretzels, don't you agree?
I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty.
This judge isn't very good with metaphors.
The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for this thinking?
Simple. Cause of death, fossil run from a chest wound. The wound was caused by a single stab wound was found. Yeah. Now I can get her. Now I can use this. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr.
What do you mean?
I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth.
Wait, I was the one who was gonna do it.
What a hunk. He's my hero, really.
What about my objection? No one noticed?
Well, witness?
You got the crime scene set, right?
No. Oh, thanks.
I always believed that no one would ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
She was just cutting a nice burger. She was gonna have a nice cake. She was gonna bring a cake up to Edgeworth. She was cutting a cake. It just got really sloppy, it got all over her. She needed to take off her clothes, and then it turned into a different kind of film. When she lifted her knife, I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
And tell us what you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly this whole scene was.
A red muffler?
Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. She can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose.
He's right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for her blood splatter? Well, peaceful mister, Austin exchanged my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much more kindergarten sometimes.
Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound.
Apparently Miss Sky isn't entirely sure of her own testimony.
Mr. Wright, this is our chance.
Chance for what, I wonder?
Yeah, wasn't she bandaged somewhere? Didn't we see Lana bandaged somewhere?
I don't know if we can use that, though. We don't have evidence that lets us say she was bandaged, do we?
Miss Stars turned out to be short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off.
The short wick burns out the fastest. It's scientific fact.
I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer.
Obviously, more scientific testing is required.
Oh, she isn't wearing the scarf in this picture. So we just use this again.
Miss Star, I demand an explanation.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. Both me and Edgeworth are just grilling her. That's kind of funny. The suspect was not wearing a scarf or a muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph.
But that's,
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found a true calling in life.
Harsh words, but good.
in the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection, chop liver? Why does everyone keep ignoring me? I was gonna say that. It was gonna be cool. I do cool things too.
But it was there, a scarf, not that, but really something. Red, really.
Well now, where are we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude back to business.
Oh, what?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least.
Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth.
Was a scarf made straight from a bear? Wait, what?
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her and explained her rights to her and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Chief Prosecutor had made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
So are we going to ask how she got there so quickly?
You were quite determined about the staff, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star.
That's a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake.
Don't bother me with your details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks.
Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites.
I think anyone is.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside over an oil drum.
An oil drum? Hard to imagine.
Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. Leopard woman, raw.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Did you need the raw sound effect? I feel that was unnecessary.
Man, I'm getting kind of hungry seeing all these lunchboxes.
So where is this partition of the floor plans?
I'm sure she
Oh. Edgeworth.
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There was a wall there. About 6 feet high.
She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing to do for a criminal.
Are we going to say instead that, he was shot, not stabbed? Or was he gunshot? No, I don't know. Who knows? Or was it self-defense?
And what did you do then?
Hotlayer explained her rights and arrested her on the spot.
You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Maybe I should press her for more details.
Yeah, you were across the fence.
I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to see me safe. The lunch lady's car was... It was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block.
Oh, that was Edgeworth.
So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes? Is that correct, Miss Star?
Yes, that's right.
But there's a changeling fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing, the Cough Queen, lunch lady in Earthfeet indeed.
It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. She couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast.
Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how'd Miss Sky not get away?
I think we need something else here.
She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say?
If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony.
Cheeky.
Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word?
So what you heard was the suspect... Wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else?
That was when she called Emma, is it supposed to be? Or just a random person? She called someone else other than what's-her-face, right?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone.
A phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene?
Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory. It's like salmon heading upstream, ultimately.
No, the court doesn't see.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. That's right, near their car, there was an emergency phone on the wall.
Apparently it was not of order.
And so she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witness, good witnessing.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should of course add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. I saw how she tied the phone on the wall. Tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell phone instead.
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I only saw this one time, so listen closely, rookies. The prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. And she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order.
How did she see through the wall to know she was using the cell phone? Using the telephone?
So she pulled out her cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time,
you climbed over the chain link fence.
then I boldly grabbed her arm. Chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this?
Yeah. I'm still going to press these parts too, but we know which part to talk about now.
She made to escape. Can you be more specific?
She brushed my hand aside and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of a lard, a patter of four grass.
Ah.
She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
So is this lady actually the killer? You're making it sound stranger. Were the detectives trying to kill her instead? Was she trying to call someone else to help her? But she called Emma. She didn't call anyone else. But I guess she knew she would be tried for a murder she didn't commit, maybe? And the police force was against her? Maybe?
There was an oil drum laying on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it's strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way?
The parking lot entrance.
That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition of to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries.
I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. The Miss Sky tried to run.
I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it. You have to believe me.
I'd rather believe her. So where is this partition on the floor plans? Oh wait, is this one at 6 feet high?
She was obviously trying to hide herself.
Quite a natural thing to do for a criminal.
And what did you do then?
Yeah. There we go.
Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago.
Well, Miss Starr, this is the fatal contradiction with fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you care to explain?
I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up.
Ahem. Let's look at this floor plan. You said you were the witness of the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If you indeed were in B block, you couldn't have seen it.
Well, so she was in A block, is the point?
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies.
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you allow me to question. Tell us what lie the witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about
what she saw, the order of events. Where she saw it, I think.
Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing, therefore it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location.
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Wait, I mean it's not a pointless lie. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we heard now points in one direction. The place from where the witness saw. I mean, it'd be over here, right? Or like here.
I mean, it was block B. But do we want to say that she was in the security room?
Wait. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room?
Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot, as well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. Oh yeah, they said it was on the second floor. I see that up there now. That's how she saw it from down there. I didn't even think about that. And that's why she would be able to run down and catch her. I didn't realize the security room they were talking about. They said it was on the second floor, but for some reason I thought they meant the parking lot. But yeah, the security room is up in the corner there on the left. It says the Y in the corner there for security. Yeah, that would make more sense.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have been with the phone.
But her boyfriend's up there.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness was not being part of the prosecutor since she couldn't park in Block A. The only place where she could have been seen the crime in the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr?
How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could be turned. Today's man got the better of Angel Star.
Order? Order? Witness? What have you done? You used to be a detective, you should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilt would be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense.
Huh?
She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. Wouldn't change anything.
Exactly.
This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands.
It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. If she was in the security guard box, who took the picture?
Someone else had to take the picture. What?
If the witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Me?
Who else?
Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Miss Starr, the witness, came from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from Block B. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change?
I mean, I'd like to present the thing, angle of the view to the crime. I feel like it's angle of view to the crime, but I feel like it's weird. The distance I feel like doesn't matter.
Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well... The security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have to sort of more 3D view of the crime.
And this is important? Why?
What? How is that? Oh my god. Why can't they just let me say the picture is a chain link fence? She would have to be over here. It doesn't make sense why they wouldn't let me use that. Then it has to be the distance.
It changes the difference between her and the crime scene.
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans, it's quite clear. Distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
What she saw is not the question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime at the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye?
Well, witness?
You
Yes?
ordered squid wheels, right?
Quality of lunches has gone from low to incredibly.
I was bringing a PB&J lunch fresh with boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry? Boysenberry? For the boyfriend?
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station.
I just hate that they didn't let me use that. Like the angle. Yes, the angle doesn't make sense, because she took the picture from over here apparently, and we can see the pictures from right here. So who was over there? Why can't I just say that now? Why do they have to do this roundabout? That's the one thing that I get annoyed with these types of games. It's like, I can clearly tell there's a contradiction there, but you're not letting me say it. I have to wait till the specific game time, and then I lose health bar for it. For no reason. And before I knew it, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked, I couldn't open it. Oh! This is how she's going to explain it? That's why I had to go through the visitor's parking lot in B block.
That's quite a detour.
This is how she's going to explain it? Is that why we didn't want to bring it up, the photo thing?
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there, the defendant's chair, who stabbed him. I know it, I have photographic evidence. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point. The spork is wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
I know.
Mr. Wright, we have to do something.
I have any means to stop this. Well, the time here says 5:12. She apparently committed the murder at least before 5:12. If it took 5 minutes, she wouldn't have seen the phone call, I guess.
But another thing would be that she would see the victim still dying of blood loss. If she took that long to get there, right? So couldn't she have stopped the victim from bleeding out? Are we not gonna bring that up? Did our floor plans change too? A little bit. This is another one of those things where it's like, I could probably use a lot of evidence, but the game only wants me to use one piece of evidence, which is the annoying part. We have an exact timestamp on when the call happened. So if it took 5 minutes... So, like, how would she see the stabbing? Or anything? I don't know. I don't know what they would want us to say exactly. I get some of the leaps and logics, but I'm not exactly sure what they would want me to say.
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make a pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente. I do. It's pretty good when it's, you know, rougher.
I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie.
A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you are a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Wait, don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone.
What do you have? But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable.
Yeah, that whole part doesn't make sense.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against this defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close.
I'm afraid that the Cough Queen has been dethroned. And with that, the court is adjourned.
She's gonna say something else, or...? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right?
That's the one she tried to force on me.
I prefer to not take the defense's team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What?
Is this another trick to our lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Miss Stars.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! Out of the defense... out of deference to the witness's determination. I will allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the lunchbox slang motto says, you won't be disappointed.
What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time?
Decisive evidence. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene, and now... To the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it's flawless evidence decisive.
Wait, what? Why would that prove it?
There was blood found on that shoe?
And try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. I'm still hungry.
Witness, what is the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth Joe is celebrating.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, the shoe has already been tested by the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
No.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sore.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
Yeah, I kinda just forge evidence. None of my stuff should ever be in here. Yeah, I pretty much called it out my butt. It actually should never be legal in court of law, but, you know. It's my video game, so I can do what I want. But Edgeworth can't.
The prosecutor's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the rule of evidence law. However, it seems to have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty properly judged.
But why does it bear traces of blood from Lana?
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Isn't it weird that Lana was bleeding?
Why did you lie about those 5 minutes?
I guess you could say I just want people to look at the results.
The results?
How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing.
Then why didn't you just tell the truth?
Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy, vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing the manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book.
As when the suspect is admitting she did it?
But the false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with.
And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime.
I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. Wanted to make myself useful when I was waiting for the police to arrive.
So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe.
I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. The shoe was my secret weapon, if that should happen. See the fashionable basket I have here? It carries more lunchboxes than gentlemen.
I'm happy for you in your lunchbox bag, really.
In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next.
So you brought it to forensic department.
You're going to submit something as evidence to the court you need to approve. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert.
She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear had blood stains on it.
Well, that man was stabbed after all.
And that blood belonged to Detective Goodman.
As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe.
You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant without a blood test.
You came to know something about blood tests, rookie? Well, speak up.
Well. Blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech.
Actually, we can differentiate millions of types of all blood tests out there. Which means that we can more or less narrow any samples of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear.
That's pretty specific.
If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. Well, they said there's a little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies.
So the suspect's blood was found on the shoe.
That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was going to say that. Go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe?
A problem? Oh, yeah. She was wearing, like, heels. or black shoes. These are white. And she took a black and white photo, so clearly they would be different. I feel like the heel's a little higher, but this seems to have a heel, so I doubt that's it. But, why are they black there and white here? Someone else did. Or can we actually look at the shoe?
This blood, it's my sister's, right?
Appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in the jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime.
Poor sis.
What about this?
There's blood here too.
On the sole of the shoe. It's gotta be the victim's.
He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. This blood, it's horrible.
This blood might be an important clue. Oh wait, this is Goodman's shoe? Did we say that? Oh yeah, it's his victim's shoe? Never mind.
Says victim shoe.
That's a problem. I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one crucial problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction.
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. Where's the contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with the evidence.
I wonder if you've noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Don't mess with me, you rookie. Or it'll be blood on the bottom of my shoe.
There is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
It makes sense the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of his shoe? Yeah, this was sent after the crime. But there's no pool of blood or anything. So would this be it? Or are they not going to let me use it? The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime?
Boo-hoo!
As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order, order. Well, witness.
What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask where there wasn't a footprint.
Oh. That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think.
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions.
What?
Mr. Edgeworth's here to help us.
I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's a vital hint to the truth in her testimony.
What are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. Chief Prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and knocked over an oil drum. Chandron's beautiful, but deadly a predator, this one leopard woman, Ra. I thought it was strange for a normally cold-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth, though apparently you're not the slowest caviar belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum knocked over. Knocked over by the chief's prosecutor was brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
You don't mean...
Yes, the suspect was knocked over the oil drum for one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become the evidence against her.
What?
What?
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the shoes. Shoes tie her quite clearly to the murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to arrest the telltale signs.
Well,
a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence.
That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him?
So that's when my sister got blood on the shoe.
I see no reason to prong this.
Mr. Wright, do something, please.
What? What can I do? The fire alarm's going off. I don't know what to do. Your sister has confessed to the crime, and she tried to conceal it.
But...
Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
The court finds the defendant.
Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you just say that Angel Star was on the prosecutor's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well... I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox, called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Huh? It's time for deliberations in the past. Any further comments you attempt will be held in contempt of court.
You threats don't scare the cop-up queen. Look at this.
No photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, look at the asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet.
erasing the last trace of evidence out from their mind immediately after the murder scene was washed away with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right, wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up, not until the better end.
This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well, time to declare a verdict for good.
There we go. Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph one last time. The last one submitted. This trail isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with the latest piece of evidence?
Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this evidence.
Well, there's the scarf and the muffler. Shoes right there. Do they want me to pick something else, though? I'll just do this for now.
The problem is this photograph is here.
What's this?
And there's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photo.
A muffler is also part of a car, or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as a part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see. What's the suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler?
I don't know where verse is like different.
What does that have to do with the case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony.
What?
Let's hear it, Mr. Wright. As on his mind, tell us why you think this piece of cloth muffler is related to the case.
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Yeah.
Could it be that muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence.
Are we going to get that piece of evidence and wait for the next day?
It seems we will have to suspend these proceedings.
Suspend?
And I find myself wondering about this piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so.
Whew. That was close. But We made it, at least for now. Edgeworth was kind of helping me a lot. Or taking my glory.
Your court is now adjourned for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime, after all.
He's still hungry.
To be continued? Question mark? You got 30 minutes. Let's see what happens next. February 23rd, 11:56 a.m. District Court, Defense Lobby, number 2. Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are the trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake about to reach the surface? But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth.
So this is where we turn the trial around, right?
Our only weapon, a teeny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who's starting to feel a teeny insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. They say you show a red cloth to Bull. It'll ferry up its temper. That's what they told me. When I was a young'un, at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'd come to take a look. See how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. And they've got a home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't get enough on our plates without worrying about other people, compadre. You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's tapes and muffler, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. No, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many times. Saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the awards ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So Miss Starr wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let the bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. Also, you're wearing a red bandana, so it could have been you that killed her. Anyway.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs, Zoe. Well then. I'd like to, resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. And fur brown, those gritty teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are...
It cannot be. This cannot happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it's time to continue our trial, during our recess.
This is unacceptable.
It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself.
Knock knock. I don't know who's that. Who's that? Who the heck is that? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom.
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when the man came in.
Who on earth is he?
No, it's you.
Oh. Sorry I'm late, Georgie. The roads were packed, it's just me. Long time no see you, Geordie. No, I've been swim much these days.
Well, hello. Now I've been busy.
Oh, busy, snazzy, Hungy, my boy, and Udgy, to make time to relax.
Yes, indeed.
G seems to be his next name for judge.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Oh, sorry, but who are you? You're righto. The attorney, I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks. So sorry about your worthy going you all that trouble there. You know, we should all go swimming together sometime, jolly. Little worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of police? You're the chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. You didn't know him or the chief of prosecutor. Like, that's kind of sad. Did you go to lawyer school? Or read the news?
The name's Grant. Damon Gant. The name's Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone.
So, when do we owe this honor? It's been over 2 years since our last came to the courtroom, hasn't it?
Well, Worthy here. Look at this poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's...
My sister's muffler.
So Miss Starr wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. Our little Worthy's car, no less. It's quite embarrassing even for us.
What's this?
It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Mr. Edgeworth?
How could you miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this low lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now, wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says persons charged of investigation. There's no mistaking signatures there. Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds. You got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll accept a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I would like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure.
Man's feeling like it's going numb.
I'd like you to take a look at the blade of this knife.
And I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push the switch and...
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore.
Come on, Wright, just hurry up and open it.
Oh, it's doing it automatically.
Don't scare me like that.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at the knife's blade, the tip's broken off. And this dark red stain, blood.
Small tag attached.
switchblade knife added to the court record.
Does not excuse the action of the police department. Would like to hear an explanation of the chief of police himself.
Can I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutor and the police and this knife?
Sure, thing. Not a problem, not even a little one, really.
Department disorder. Can't say how here.
Necessary evidence has proven a connection between the knife and Goodman. This is a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do investigations. The detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time was 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it.
There was a murder at the police department, Detective.
And that's hush-hush information, Uji. We haven't announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
Order.
Anyway, we at the police department, we're all flustered, as you might as well assume. We're in the middle of a top-secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation, well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places.
The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise the right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well, however. Keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Can I show him the mascot? I'm guessing that'll play a part here.
There's a small tag on the knife.
It says SL92.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm not sure, but it reminds me of a similar code. DL6. Maybe it's a number. Maybe it's a case number.
That's weird.
What?
I don't remember where, but I think I've seen something like this before. Something similar to what's written on the tag. Wasn't that long ago either.
Maybe I should check the court records again.
Six, 7, S. Six, 7S. This has the 6-7S also though, right? If you flipped it the other way, it would be 6-7S. But the 2's that way. 12/2, December 2nd. Or is it February 12th? I don't know which way they take the dates. Anyways, let's start pressing first.
Excuse me, special?
Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else.
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Sorry, radio, but I can't say that now. We've established the knife in the Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, what was there another knife at the scene of crime?
That's quite a mystery.
And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between the knife and Goodman.
This knife was found at the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
You see, there's a lot of things going on in the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay, rightio?
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can.
Evidence that links the knife to Goodman. I think perhaps the piece of evidence are filling the place of shot in presenting the evidence that had me stumped all this time.
I mean, I already know what they want me to do there. I just want to see what else we have to say about this stuff.
Something happened at the department too, huh?
You got a good look in your eyes there, Rightio, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy, what with the Lana case and all.
Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? On the same day that the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department.
That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it? Udgy.
I'm at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Radio.
I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
Well, how was the detective killed?
How was he killed? Now that's an interesting part. It was what we call, in the force, a stabbing with a knife.
A knife?
That's exactly the same as the Detective Goodman. That's the spirit we're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same.
What do you mean?
There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death.
It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. $5:15. But that's when Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office.
What?
Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's office, prosecutor's place, and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances?
Coincidence? I think not.
This is just a gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening.
Chief Gant, please tell us more about that incident. How can you say there's no connection?
How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Radio, you understand.
Try to understand, Radio.
Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something more that ties the two murders together.
There is. The police department, that can be a coincidence.
And the knife. What was it doing there?
I better check this knife out.
Yeah, I know they want me to check the knife out. Wait, what? They're not gonna let me use that? That doesn't make sense. Why? Did they really want me to use it here? Because I hate this game. Oh my god, I hate this game. Yeah, the sentence that describes it. You need to go to the next one. When he asks for it specifically. Not when he's asking for it judgingly. Wait a second.
And last, Your Honor, an honest-to-goodness objection.
This knife. This has to do something to do with the Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean, from Udgy? This is great.
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7s? 12, 2.
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside down?
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around, what do you get?
February 21st. SL9.
Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9? The same thing that was written on the knife's tag. Order? Order? Well, Chief?
Nah, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Radio.
I win? What game is this guy playing?
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the evidence department.
So this knife was stolen?
Yes, on the day of the murder. It is evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice. Good show, little Edgeworth. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen the day of the murder. It was found in the exhaust pipe of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think that there's a connection there.
That stuff's not important.
Do I have anything else I can contradict?
We didn't really talk about the victim's memo at all. He didn't tell us about the case. Trisha, it's not officially linked to the case, so I can't talk much about it. But we just figured out. Oh, did they want me to say it at the end? Stolen from the evidence department. But didn't we just do this? Oh, why are they doing that? I'll just soft save in case I mess this up. It's not really soft save, it's actually safe. What else do they want me to do? I wanted him to talk more about the stuff. We showed that it was officially linked. Why can't we hear about it now? That's what I don't get. Why aren't they letting me hear about it? It's all I want to do. I know this isn't even important. It makes me want to kind of kill Edgeworth, or myself, in this trial, because of being dumb. Yes, we already proved that it's connected. I don't know why we can't talk about it. This knife was stolen. Did I just not do this? I thought I did do it. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. This knife was stolen on the day of the murder. It was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think that there isn't a connection there.
So they want me to contradict this part, is all? Is that the problem? Am I supposed to contradict it with this again? Nope. I know what they want me to do, but I'm not sure why they're not letting me do it. I hope this gets better in later games, where if you clearly solved the case, they let you just solve it. But I guess that would be hard to do. Like, I clearly know what to do. But why are you making me take these giant, dumb leaps and bounds? Say, oh, that's how it does it, obviously. Do they want me to show the knife again? Nope. Do they want me to show the cell phone for some reason? Nope. Stolen from the evidence room? Do they want me to show them this cardboard cutout? Am I not supposed to be using this evidence on this specific line, and that's what's the problem? Nope, still didn't matter. I think I used everything I could. That's actually important. Do they not want me to contradict here? Because I feel like I should be contradicting here, but they're not letting me. Why can't this game just have normal things? So, am I just not supposed to use this part? That was a bad day for Vermin. We weren't in any shape to do investigating. Do an investigation.
Actually, you kill at least when I'm at.
Great coincidence, not officially linked, so to this case, so can't talk much on it. We already know it's officially linked, but they're not letting us officially link it for whatever reason. What stupid picture do they want me to use to officially link it? I don't understand. Did I somehow miss something on the knife? Got like these stains on it. Blood's already dry because of the obvious stuff. Knife tip's broken. I don't get what piece of evidence they want me to use. I don't understand. I don't think I can press anything else unless I'm completely blind. Yup, I checked out the knife already. I already did the thing with the knife. Do they just want me to talk to him again? They just want me to press again for some reason? Oh, what? Oh wait, no, that was stuff from before. On questions, maybe you could. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing only. We already got the one thing. Maybe this part will be important. So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room in the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I heard of that. The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now? This knife was in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. There's a connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright. Happy? We just got handed our ticket to the town's case, so they wanted me to go back and go to that stuff. That's weird. They've never had me do something like that before, so I feel like it's a strange thing to put in. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Grant to testify about the details. So, do I have to do this just again? Hear the same stuff. I'm still hungry from those lunch boxes. Or do they just want me to hold it here? Okay, yeah, they just want me to hold it there. The defense position is simple this. Connection between these two cases has already been proven. You don't say. Well, out with it, Radio. What's your connection?
Yes, Mr. Wright.
The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we heard. This knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number of the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in the very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seem to be many connections for it to be a coincidence.
Too many.
You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right there. Chief.
Chief.
I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. And see, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all.
Can we get the information unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really?
I would have guessed. I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay?
Why not? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
No, well, the case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh, well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. The victim's ID number? How about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all. Ha.
We keep a tight lip on ID numbers so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. 5842189.
So the victim was Detective Goodman?
Well, that's quite long.
And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts.
Me too, I can't do it.
You didn't even get the first number, right?
Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number of the victim at the police department. This tells me something for sure. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
It has to do what I think it is. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something.
Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
Is that where that line comes from? No. No, it's just I got confused.
And this news is...
Huh?
Just come out with it, guns blazing. Like you always do.
The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. But they were the same detective. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Woohoo! Is it yours?
No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of the victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Radio. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
Then this means what exactly?
Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. It started with the 82, I've forgotten.
You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief police was giving us was 5842189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does your witness think about that? Oh, sharp as tack, sharp as tack.
But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what you're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, in a completely different location.
It's great.
Murder? Chief, what does this mean?
No, what I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm a prosecutor in charge of this case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare you? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Mickens who brought you the news. Officer Mickens?
Mr. Wright, we've heard that name before. Oh, wait, aha. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here at the request of the chief. Sorry, I got your report, sir.
You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name, is written right on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if the officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. Mentally challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error, gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I... Long pause. No such luck this time, or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law, whom?
Mr. Wright?
Oh, well, it's, Rule number 2. Evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in the court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit it as an evidence until a connection was proven in court. This connection was just proven by Radio over here. Good job, Radio, my boy. I was just doing my job. No.
No! I'm terrible at this job.
It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
I know, you're good. You're going through a tough time with all these rumors. You were even in the defendant's chair just the past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Please give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You better get the results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir. Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I'll grant one further day as prosecution has requested. Would that be all sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake I hope it's not decisive. Anyway, court is adjourned.
Maybe he'll become a defense attorney instead, and he can be good and not terrible, and protect the innocent. I'm still pretty hungry. Wright and local offices, 23rd. Mr. Wright, so, what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Well, let's see, what is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot, in the police department's evidence room.
What's this? In the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Try to, at least.
Alright, let's do it.
But she's in good spirits. I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go, science awaits.
I'm going right to the parking lot again.
You know, I really don't think I should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there, who cares?
Yeah, it was our victim who was killed in the evidence room, no Becky.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing, I know it. And that oil drum wasn't empty.
Picked over, brimming with water.
My sister erasing evidence of a crime, never.
Even though she says she doesn't get along, I mean, really likes her sister.
That's not it, it's just... We're both professionals at what we can do. I trust her.
Big words for a high school student, and how can you keep reading my thoughts?
Well, whether the blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
The situation calls for one thing, and this is... laminal testing fluid.
Aluminum, what?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done these tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Let's give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor, I can't even drink yet.
We're testing bloodstains, this stuff, not drinking it.
I'll lend you these glasses.
Get an extra pair of those?
See? Like this. Press the A button to spray. Okay, let's find some bloodstains.
This is an interesting mechanic. We found some. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this a blood stain?
It's so,
You're shaking.
It's just this is the first time seeing real blood.
Scientific investigation in action.
Okay, well, we definitely know that it's a blood stain. But doesn't that strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course?
What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood?
I
I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the side of the victim's shoe.
It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to have been more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark the floor plans when we find bloodstain, okay?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
I'm guessing the bloodstain was only from Emma. I mean, what's her name? Lana? Lana, yeah. Yeah, this stuff's pretty handy, too.
I saved up my allowance to buy that. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit in their view of the case.
And let's drag that hidden evidence out into light of day.
Yeah, this feels like we're really investigating crime now, doesn't it?
Guess I should give this spray another on anything suspicious. Why is she still here?
I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star, you only trust your own eyes, Not bad, you two. This day old deli box is on the house.
Sorry, it's just that... that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering.
You certainly put me on the fat spot today.
My apologies, Miss Star, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there, but I was afraid that I wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even in a place I witnessed the events from was still different. I saw what I saw. Chief Prosecutor Sky stabbed a man in cold blood, and the testimony still stands. I swear I saw it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, I was a long time ago, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced me, they coughed it up.
Coughed it up?
They confessed. They babbled like babies, you know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of the suspect after suspect. For long they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches.
And you were let go, fired?
Felt that I found my dream job when I became investigator, and it was the Prim Prime let me go. Yeah. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident.
SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean...
What do you think about this? The SL9 incident. It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really? And that knife was evidence from the case, the murder weapon. It was due for a transferal the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over, not yet.
Do you think you could tell us more about the incident? Oh, she just says the same thing? I'm guessing I have to just talk to her normally. Yeah, SL9. Yeah, it's like the DL6. No, they don't let me talk to her about it?
Why not?
Can I use the spray bottle on these things? That'd be interesting.
Someone use Marker to write their name on this. Emma Sky. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go. Well, you never know when something might go down. Just what kind of world do you think we live in? So if we want her to talk about it, how would we get her to talk about it? I had one of those up until 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that it's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. Well, needless to say, it seems like she doesn't really have anything for us. This is the famous oil drum. Well, no time like the present, I'll try to kick it over myself. Yeah. That's okay. Don't cry. This guy must be a strong woman. B block is right through here. This is where the visitors park. So, Miss Stark climbed over this fence. Seems so, yeah. The fence is 9 feet high at least. Well, no time like the present, I think I'll give it a little try. It's okay, don't cry. Maybe that's on Land Olympics team. She just keeps messing up. This rope, is it? Yep, laid out the victim. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. Yeah, you've got to be the only person I've known to come up with that conclusion. Oh, they do let me spray it more? I kind of figured there'd be something on the phone, but I'm just curious if there's anything else around. Nope, seems that's it. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. Can't hear anything. My ears. No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the biometric pressure. Yeah. Wait, oh yeah? We already talked about that? Wait, I just showed that there was blood here. How do I make them... Oh. I guess I have to spray it a few times. So it probably was Lana. This blood must be from when Lana... No, my sister isn't a murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime. And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? There's nothing to do with taking sides. So that means Lana's hand had blood on it. Just gets even worse. Just out of curiosity, is there blood on the fencing? Yeah, wouldn't there be blood in the trunk? We only saw blood right there, which is weird. I don't think we can find any more blood there. Actually. Look, a door. This must mean something. Not sure that doors mean anything. Mysterious lock. We have to see what's mysterious about it. Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Do you have any different dog births? No.
Well, for now, let's go back here really quick. February 23rd, Police Department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday.
The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring.
As far as it makes sense, the detective did get killed here after all.
And so, the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is.
Like a kid in an amusement park.
Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look.
Out of curiosity. I don't really think there'd be a lot around, but you know, just in case. We wanted to go to the crime scene, though. Evidence room entrance. Guard station. What's the decor of this place? It's very eccentric.
According to the pamphlet, this guard station for the evidence room.
So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime.
It sure seems that way. Oh,
What's wrong?
it's those cacti. They're so prickly, it's imposing, it's hard to think straight.
You can't handle cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is if the guard station was the guard.
I have a feeling I know who he is already.
Yeah, I wonder who the guard station that likes Texas is.
The swinging door makes this place look like some kind of old saloon.
Look, it's nailed shut. You can't even get in that way.
Of course not. If you went through there, the cactus would fall over. Ouch.
I'd say more like yar myself.
These are sure prickly. They must be real deal.
Think one big thing would be sufficient.
These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually.
How so?
Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her.
I'm not sure I see the resemblance.
I'm more of an attitude than a physical similarity. A security guardian uniform hanging around here.
It's more like a costume than a uniform, honestly.
Leather jacket and pants. What was that called again? A ponchi? A ponchi? No, I know. A poochie. Poochie?
Poncho.
Wait, maybe.
It's poncho, but I think I'll keep that information myself for the time being. Looks like there's a video feed on the evidence room here.
There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of here.
Yeah, we probably could. Probably be a good idea. You know, comment on all the bottles of liquor he has. So can I not?
Look on the floor, a lasso.
Looks like it's set up to trap something.
A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed.
You sure have an active imagination. The evidence room beyond that door.
Let's just walk in. It won't open.
You thought I would open? Think we'd need someone's permission to go in first. I don't think we need it, actually. But I can't use it. Yeah, I guess they're not gonna let me sneak in. We can look for blood, though. Wait, what? They don't let me go there? That's weird. Oh. No blood on the cactus. Oh, it's criminal affairs.
Wow, everything looks so deadly serious here.
Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department.
Yes, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot.
It makes my head hurt.
Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene.
Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead.
I doubt anyone wants more mysterious or dead bodies around here right now. Doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Oh! Tell no one. I told that old lady. So, I can't do anything here, then what's the point? Unless I can find blood somewhere. I don't really think I can. Unless I missed blood somewhere. I could have missed blood. Not letting me touch the other junk, so I don't really know. Can't get her to talk about more stuff. I don't care about her telling me about tea. Maybe I should just keep asking her more questions for now. A body with Edgeworth's knife stuck in it was found in Edgeworth's car.
I think he owes his gratitude. Well, if I hadn't witnessed the crime, Mr. Edgeworth would have been a suspect.
I wonder.
Still, it's strange. Why didn't our chief prosecutor have her own murder weapon ready? It was when I grabbed the chief prosecutor on the shoulder. She dropped that phone on the pavement. That's when you heard her talking about the muffler.
That's when you heard her talk about the muffler, right?
Little did I know, it was a trap. Ren Carr's muffler, that prosecutor's red muffler.
What was Miss Sky really trying to say, I wonder? Can you take a look at this? Oh, she doesn't care about the shoe? I kind of figured she didn't care about the shoe.
If you think I could have taken a picture from the guardrail, but even I get flustered sometimes.
You went straight to the scene of the crime.
I rushed toward the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murderer. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again, just like that time.
That time? Okay, now we can talk about it.
The SL incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. Well, nothing to them disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I've ever handled. The police and prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed.
Executed?
Yes, the criminal got what's coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was they never did find decisive evidence, not a single shred.
What? But the criminal was executed, right?
On the basis of evidence of a sort, made-up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of the job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well.
Wait, could it be?
Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall.
So he has motive.
As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over. He was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I.
You haven't forgotten SL9.
There wasn't another case that... And there wasn't another side to that case. There was another side to the case, a hidden side that we're after now. No one up in the fancy offices can stop us. Wait. Those lunches you sell. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this cursed office. Come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate.
Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have, anyway? This when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence.
There has to be a connection. So, Rookie.
What?
It seems like you're serious about investigating this case.
Yes.
Then you should take this.
A Salisbury steak lunch.
I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat.
Eh?
Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he are you his, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. Long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so long with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then.
This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective.
But now he's so cold. And Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We'll put it in the past. To the rest, as it were, nothing more than that. I see. Thank you.
Did they co-murder someone? Is the place charged with frantic energy as always?
Huh? What's that?
One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you.
Detective Gumshoes.
Now's not the time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland.
Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale.
I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking.
Now's no time for despair. We caught our criminal, we just need evidence.
The criminal, you mean?
You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal?
Yeah. You already determined it was the same one?
It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy.
Or Detective Gumshoe. Who was it?
Listen, pal, I know I need me a steak lunch pronto. Staying around here isn't gonna fill my belly.
Wait, don't leave.
If you want to know more, head down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later.
He ran off to the evidence room.
Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Okay, I guess they want me to do that first. Did they frame Edgeworth?
Still, I do feel a little better about this. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they?
Yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now, things will just get confusing.
Oh, what was that?
Perpetrator. I'd say I was perpetrated against her. That's what I'd say. Wait, McKillen? Oh.
Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know you are. Excuse me, but it's Edgeworth. Anyone on the premises? I'm here to request a chief, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're the guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not. I'm a lost little patrolman. Like a lost little lamb, sir. Oh, I get it now. You're here to deliver a report. No, how should I say this?
Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Meekins, you didn't, did you?
Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. Wait, what?
Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. He murdered her.
Sir, a patrolman with the general affairs, sir.
I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins.
I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room.
And we know which guard is at the evidence room.
Suspicious. It seems like a cowboy might have killed him.
Gonna make a Phoenix death like what Shining Renaissance does with the random enemies? Yeah. And I have it turned down a pretty good amount too, but it's still pretty loud. It's weird.
Yeah, that's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Yeah, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall.
Marshall.
And, sir, what happened at the security room monitor? That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person, yeah.
What the heck is this guy doing?
So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. When I came to, I was here in the detention center.
How long were you out? Days?
Might I ask what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up.
A bandage on his hand. Just like Lana Sky.
Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office.
First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. About your hand, did you happen doing that during the course of the crime?
Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But, sir, there was nothing I could do.
Nothing you could do?
Sir, to tell you the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed the knife at me, I just hollered, sir. Next thing I knew, I was unconscious.
Next thing you knew, you were, huh?
And when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room. All alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, shock. Oh, sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt?
The victim's body disappeared.
That's some story.
Don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman, right?
Sir, please don't look down at me with sad puppy eyes, sir. If you have to label me as perpetrator victim, sir, then label me as victim.
I wouldn't. I would, but you have to be in detention and alive and, well, at that.
Yes, I suppose that's true. I suppose you could say that.
Did you know Detective Goodman?
Well, sir, if I have to label him as stranger, a total stranger, I would say he leans heavily on the total stranger side.
So you didn't know him?
Sir, I was in a teeny department devoid of light and other creatures of comfort. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why'd you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir, no. Nor do I have an intention of killing him, sir.
At least somebody along here is more confused than I am.
Someone around is more confused.
Officer Meeking, this is for you.
I'm scared of knives, sir.
It's okay, I just wanted to.
That's it. Last night, sir. That's the last one. I was an apple, sir. In my dream, I saw I was being peeled. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife.
Overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Can you look at this?
Sorry, no idea what it is. Maybe you should ask Edgeworth, sir. He's passing the buck to Mr.
Takes a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth.
Do you think you could take a look at this? That's it, sir, that's it. What? My head was a blank until this very moment, but sir, now I remember, sir.
You mean you remember what happened?
Correct, that card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir, exactly. Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing.
I better pry into this a little deeper. Ugh. Can you tell me what you do remember?
Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman, a lost lamb, yeah. I know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room.
And that's why you thought he looked suspicious.
So I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right. So that's what I've been trying to tell you.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? So I show you I was flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him.
Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him.
Do unto others that they do unto you, my father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes and everything went white. When I woke, I was here.
Right.
So after Meekins, why was it that you were arrested?
What do you mean, Emma?
Let's look at what we know. Now Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim who he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card.
In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim.
And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, you don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it. That's what I wanted to say. I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir, on that day at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said.
But you don't remember the events clearly.
No, but the videotape, it was quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. My crime was... I was sworn to stamp out. It's there, it's me on the tape. And you waited until now to tell us the truth? I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I'll hand over my badge, I don't deserve it.
No thanks, I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Is interesting.
Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the chief detective's desk.
It's Police Chief Grant.
And you're sure this is all, You know what that means if anything's missing.
So, most perfect. Perfect. We checked all the drawers, lockers, garbage cans, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, behind his personal coffee machine.
I see. If anything turns up, you call me right away, do you?
Yes, sir. Please again, sir.
Chief Detectives looks a little flustered.
Rightio, my boy. Have you been swim much?
Oh, Chief Grant, reporting for duty, sir.
Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright?
I was wondering, can you take a look at this?
This guy who can't... Does he mean Detective Gumshoe?
No. I was wondering, could you take a look at this? I guess he doesn't want to look at him. We'll just talk to him. Is Edgeworth going to be okay?
No, radio. You know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year.
You mean the incident on Gold Lake?
It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit on the defense seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, radio?
Von Karma.
A legend he was undefeated for 40-year career, but in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence.
Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. You did forge evidence.
In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they'd do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. The detective being killed on their turf, too, I mean.
There being the prosecutors, I presume?
Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but the evidence is... The evidence is saying Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time, so that's what it says.
What evidence is that?
Now, radio, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. It's peculiar, well, it's a little simple, but I can't talk about it.
I wasn't expecting much anyway.
You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff, secrets, can't stand them, but you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trapped shut. Was he the one you were picking on earlier? Oh, you saw that? Oops.
I wonder what was he wanted the chief of detectives to do?
Let's see if he can discreetly ask him.
Withholding evidence,
What exactly did the chief of police want you to do?
What do you see over there?
What you see over there? There's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. Took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonged to Goodman is still here. Oh, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not that important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? Date on us February 21st. We're gonna make a note of it just in case.
I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Wait, that seems pretty important though. ID 59.
So he wrote his number wrong? That seems pretty weird already. So, are we ever gonna start this, or? Aren't they letting us go in there? Oh yeah, do we need permission from Edgy or something? I don't know. We didn't go see Edgeworth either way. Well, this place is classy as today as it was yesterday.
I'm sure it's still just classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here.
I'm sure he's off doing important investigations.
I hope that's what he's doing. I guess we'll have to come back.
Hey, a chessboard.
Not too up to chess, looks like Blue's in a bit of a tight spot.
The Red Knights have surrounded the Blue Pawn.
Huh?
His horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. And check out the poor pawn. Yeah. We did that before.
Hmm.
You want such a prestigious cord, why would you just leave it on the couch?
Yeah, you'd think you'd want to show it off, this thing off more than just giant steel samurai. And again, Edgeworth has always been like that. Back in elementary school, he won awards of all kinds. Speech contests, essays, playing the flute, golf tournaments.
Doesn't exactly sound like it's elementary school stuff.
But he always hated receiving awards. He'd make some smart remark like, "I know the path I've walked. No one else needs to tell me." That's how it's always been.
Kind of gets you under your skin, doesn't it?
Hmm. Wait a second. I was right. There's blood in Edgeworth's room.
What? It looks like some blood has dripped down here.
Judging by the amounts, my guess it's from a nosebleed.
A nosebleed, huh?
Maybe.
Maybe it's his wrath. Mr. Edgeworth slapped someone for their incompetence.
Why does Detective Gumshoe come to mind? Is that all we're gonna say?
I guess it doesn't matter.
Maybe they want me to show policeman. He's not letting me show him anything. Oh. Actually. No, they don't let me turn this over? Okay, never mind. Oh. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask a favor.
Well, I never thought the day would come when radio asked me for help.
I was wondering if I could go investigate the evidence room.
No, radio.
Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate.
Radio, please look.
What? Huh?
Heck, if anyone asked me, "Sir, can I borrow $50?" I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead and investigate that room to your heart's content, knock yourself out. It goes to show you, you never know until you ask. As for here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along now, do your best. Now later, folks. Looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID.
You seem, happy.
Yes, sir, because sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir.
I think this place is bad influence on the girl. Okay, now he's gonna show up, right? No?
And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. The card reader's turned off.
Card reader's turned off, see?
What is that security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners. Well, well. What's made my Bambi sky so gray?
Officer Marshall, why does it have to be him?
What's that? Why does it have to be him look for? As you may have summarized, this here's my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yeehaw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yeehaw.
Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you, hombres. You're, busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tingle with us hombres. A lot of sirens going off right now. That smell reminds me of Texas.
So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas?
No, I just saw a special on television the other day. This is from my baby.
Wait. You got all this stuff in like a few days?
Yeah, Miss Star.
What's this?
What's wrong?
A fillet steak lunch. I see, I see.
I don't see. I wonder what it means.
Ah, Bambina, you win. Ask me anything. Smack. Finally, it seems like...
He's willing to talk.
So are you a killer?
Officer Marshall, you're in charge of the security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins is in the detention center told us. Ah, poor little doggy. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong, calling him Mickey. He told us something. He said that when this stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, man, I look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know.
So you were doing... What were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy.
He was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyway. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kind of like stewed broccoli that they sneak in your steak, you know? But I like broccoli.
Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler in the scene of crime. It's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie's fire.
You're still investigating the SI Nest incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it, anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened.
There are some things better left off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, the case is officially dead as of 2 years ago.
Or 2 days ago, or whatever.
2 days ago, the day of our case. That's right, the evidence transferal. Edgeworth was talking about the transfers too. I know what maybe 2 of my machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambi, me machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. So he doesn't like broccoli or cauliflower. The easiest ones to understand here are the security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekin mentioned. Meekin mentioned. If nothing happens, the tape's automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekin's Goodman are on one of those tapes.
I reckon there might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. Card reader leaves the recorded ID of everyone that passes through. 777. That's odd. So this ID card record.
Hey, I've seen that number somewhere before.
Sorry, Bimby, I can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before.
Maybe there's some way I can prove that the record is tied to the stabbing. Sorry, but could you explain this whole transferal thing is about? We keep our only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So that's what happened to the evidence after 2 years ago. After 2 years, but it goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transfer. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transfer is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago.
I didn't mean to look at this. I don't care about that part.
See this? This is the ID card. This is the victim's ID card.
Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 5842189.
Officer Marshall, show us the ID card record again. Look, the fourth number. It's a perfect match.
It was used at 5:14 right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room.
But wait, what did Officer Meekins say?
I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card.
But yeah, I didn't show it.
If he had his ID card, then why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compounder, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this to a list to the other people with IDs here.
It would help rule out who's who. But let's go to the evidence room.
Sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over.
So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard.
Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue.
Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
Whoa!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going smacking ghosts here, pal. So is it true what I heard?
Radio, please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asks me... Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So the chief of police, Gann, will loan anyone $50, even me?
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today.
Just for today?
Boss for a day?
But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day.
Gee, thanks.
First off, you want to have this.
Scene of the stabbing. The detective, PD.
So Detective Gumshoe, your boss for a day?
That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're the boss, why are you here all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial.
In other words, you got knocked out of the investigation again?
I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own unvent's locker, pal.
You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, I'm a detective after all. They give me a locker only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
So the lockers even have IDs on them?
I always believe in Edgeworth, no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now.
And trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today.
I see.
I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case.
That case?
Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth.
Maybe you can get him to tell us more about that case. Wait, what? I thought the DL6 was more important.
This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed, so only one detective can open it.
Using their ID card.
Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. That's why I'm on my third card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but I can't even lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly. Lock for each finger... The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. They're strict to the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handle is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, you get a
You get a shock.
That's what happened. My hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, lockers aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
Huh. Show us your ID. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID record for the people who came into the office the day of the stabbing.
Ah, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. What?
What is it?
That second number.
It's not your ID card, is it, Detective Gumshoe?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
That second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Yeah, I didn't mean to hit that again. I wanted to check it. My mistake. Huh. So he looked at it at 440. And we see that those two numbers came in at different times. One left and came back. 491. The 777 one looks kind of fake, unless that's the guessed one. Slide to the left. Yeah, we need to figure out who it is. A hacksaw paint.
What is a saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue paint and yellow paint here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger.
Well, you might say this is my studio.
Here in the evidence room? Doesn't that seem pretty bad? That's a clear bloody handprint. What's this? Blood?
It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
It looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright, what if there are other blood stains left in the room?
We should use our testing fluid to check it out.
Hang on, we're looking around first. Look, there's one open. The red indicator light is above the door.
The locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint.
Detective Goodman...
Detective Goodman's locker. Ah.
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it's hard to get open again if we closed it.
It's empty. They must have taken out the contents elsewhere.
Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps.
There you go, pal, making me in some sort of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
Yeah, it's all 9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there?
Another piece of the SL9 incident. I wonder what the shape these pieces were before it was broke.
You want to try and put it back together?
Good luck, pal. It's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue.
Well, this piece looks like the bottom, so let's try putting the rest back together. Oh great, we get to put together a puzzle. Puzzle piece. This is interesting.
Three-dimensional puzzle.
That looks right. Playing puzzle game now. Yeah, it's a literal puzzle. Is this one? No, it wouldn't fit that way. That doesn't look right. Probably there's blood on it. Maybe it does that one.
Is it this one? What position do I need it in then?
No, that doesn't work. Looks like it would work that way. Pretty like clay vase. All the more to stab someone to death with. Wish you could rotate the vase more, or these pieces. It's kind of hard to tell. I don't know, would that be more it? I just need it in a different position? Okay, I just need it in a different position. I had the right piece. I mean, that seems right. Oh wait, no. It's too big like that. That wouldn't make sense. Didn't mean that. Pretend that didn't happen.
What would fit in here well?
That's like the top of it. Wait, was it this piece? Oh, okay. I was just putting the pieces in weirdly, I guess. This one's obviously this. Wait, no. Isn't that looks... oh wait, no, it's this one. Is it? Not? But it has the little weird, like, indent thing at the top. Oops. I accidentally keep hitting the wrong button, too. That has the indent thing, too, but... I guess this has an indent, but it looks like it was this one, doesn't it? Except this has, like, the top part at it. But they mean this? Except they want to fill in that whole entire gap, so that one makes sense. This? Okay, they just wanted something a lot bigger than I thought. Okay, for this part, this seems dumb. Shouldn't you show me the different angle? I just have to, like, guess now. The angle's too weird.
it's harder to tell how it's supposed to be. Really? This spot? Yeah. Okay, now that spot. No. Wait. There we go. Last piece. Oops. We're missing a piece.
Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far too. In 2 minutes myself, the problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen?
I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I couldn't understand how it got broke.
Okay, I just wanted to look if they said anything about those.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Yeah, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
Was that his fishing pole? Some sort of bulky equipment dust here.
What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
That's my personal pole. Never do get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that before somewhere. Right, pal, that's the metal detector. The one that I lent you in the case to Gord Lake, remember? Oh, right. Wow, that feels like it was ages ago. I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, it's a bug sweeper. She'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. Cheap-looking box. Can't judge a person or a machine by their cover, you gotta look at their heart.
Is that probably gonna be like something for a later thing? Something sticking there.
Something's sticking out there.
It looks like a shirt. Guess it must be evidence for some case.
I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. Hang out making me some kind of slop. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was open recently.
How do you know?
You leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves his evidence hanging out a lot too.
I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. You're gonna talk about talk behind someone's back. Don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Or Detective Gumshoes. Everyone just makes fun of it. Well, time to look for blood. Cha 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 cha. I mean, we already know that's blood.
It's someone's right print.
What? What's the matter, Detective? That locker. It's mine.
It's yours?
Please. You have to help me when they come take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. Do that for me, won't you, pal? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. Counting on you guys, believe me, you can't trust the police.
What? What? But you're a detective.
Well, that's a giant pool of blood.
There must have been one massive pool of blood. I've never seen anything like it. Not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman is actually an alien.
That proves something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it in the floor plans.
Hey, if you didn't want my pen, you should have asked.
Oh, there's the other one. Okay, so someone did hide something away in there.
Why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for a murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This might be something significant.
Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called limonol testing fluid.
Why don't you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the sheet.
Why do you get this, Emma?
I always buy it at the mall by mail order.
Or by mail order?
Well, I better jot this down. Floor plans.
Just in case. I think we found all the blood we can find now. I feel like there wouldn't be more anywhere. Yeah, looks like that is it. Well, I think we need more evidence. Just as a hand. Yeah, he doesn't care. Okay. What if I show him this vase? Really, he doesn't care about the vase thing? Yeah, maybe he's not important to talk to right now. Oh yeah, can you give us his ID card?
Could you take a look at this?
I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Why? We wanted to know what his ID card was. He said he went in here too. So why wouldn't he let us see his ID card? That doesn't make sense. We didn't write him down already, right? Yeah, we didn't write him down already. Which person is he supposed to be then on this list? Weird.
I feel like it's pretty important for him to tell us that, but he didn't.
Whatever, let's just go see if Edgeworth's back. He's in... You care about this? I have a bit of evidence now, but I'm not who else to... excuse me. Not sure who else I should show this stuff to. Also, wow, I didn't even notice the time. I think I'll call it here for now, and we can get back on it tomorrow. I didn't realize I went 40 minutes over. Oops. When you're having Phoenix Wright time. Either way, thanks for anyone who dropped in. always appreciate it. It's actually kind of bad that I took that long. I was supposed to be writing a story already. Anyway, though, I hope everyone has a good day. Be back tomorrow and all that stuff with more Phoenix Wright. Hopefully we can get through this and see what happens. Also, did I really take like 20 hours on this game? Jeez. It's longer than I thought it would be. I guess that's because it's a lot of dialogue, though, right? I mean, it's what it's supposed to be. Anyways, yeah. Bye. See ya.